Panhandling on the internet, drop dead, loser.
Actually, I think that more people should be panhandling on the internet, because I think that panhandling, aka asking for help when you're at the lowest of the low and have nothing coming in but still need to survive capitalism because everything lives behind a paywall, food, shelter, even water. I don't think people should panhandle on the street corner when it's 80% humidity and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think they should be outside. And if they need to ask for money, I think they should be able to do it safely. I think we should be giving homeless people smartphones and guaranteed internet connections so they have safety nets, so they can connect with people who can help them and pull them out. And they can actually raise funds for themselves and their needs, get their needs met without putting their lives at literal risk. I'm panhandling on the internet because while I am housed, I am still not getting my needs met. While I have a phone and an internet connection, I am still not getting my needs met. My government doesn't care, so I'm hoping that there are some members of my community that do. A lot of us are. I'm going to keep saying it until you hear it. Long COVID is now the most common chronic illness among children. Long COVID is massively disabling. If people aren't dying from its complications, they're getting bed-bound and house-bound. On top of that, there are plenty of disabilities that exist that make it impossible for people to work, or impossible for people to work enough to support themselves. And in 2025, 60% of households in the United States cannot make ends meet. So even people who work cannot survive capitalism right now. So I think that more people should be investing in each other's survival, because the only way we survive is by taking care of each other. And what you're seeing in my panhandling on the internet is a vulnerable person who is not getting their needs met, asking their community for help. And there are a lot of us out here. Just because it's not on your timeline before I showed up doesn't mean that I'm the first one doing it. And also, it's not a bad thing. Asking for help is never a bad thing. No one can survive this life alone. Literally no one. None of you can do any of this life exclusively by yourself. Especially not in a eugenic capitalistic society. Invest in your communities. I'm talking to the people who actually care. I'm not talking to the fascists. They're going to keep calling me a fat R slur no matter what. They're going to keep trying to shame me for panhandling on the internet. Meanwhile, panhandling on the internet is just asking for help. It's weird to shame people for asking for help. Truly, it's like really, really odd, bro. It's also like, where's your survival instinct? Because like I said, none of us can do this by ourselves. And so you're shaming people for like literally doing what is human. Like, hey, I need help with this thing. Can you help me? And instead of scrolling because you don't want to help, a lot of you are harassing me. But also, scrolling because you don't want to help makes you complicit. If you have $5 to spare, if you can like a post, if you can bookmark a post, if you can share it with a friend who might have $10 to spare, and you don't, for whatever reason, you're complicit in their suffering and death. There are things you could do that you are not doing to help people. You are no better than the people calling me a fat R slur, because in the back of your mind, there's some reason that is eugenics based that you don't want to help me. It's the way I talk, it's the things I say, it's the propaganda that you've internalized. You want to be a billionaire too, like Taylor Swift or Beyonce. You want to be Kamala Harris. I don't think anybody wants to be Joe Biden. More people should be panhandling online. It's safer. You get harassed, but at least you're not exposed to the elements and as exposed to people who could literally just hurt you physically. I'm getting death threats for asking for help. Like, that's how deep it is to these people. Imagine what it's like for the guy on the street corner by the Walmart who's sleeping in a tent in the woods. People aren't as harsh to him, maybe, because they can't be brave behind a screen. And a lot of homeless people might be able to fight back, I don't know. But homeless people are very, very vulnerable to crime because a lot of people don't care about homeless people. And you not caring about homeless people is just as violent as people throwing slurs at them or stabbing them in the stomach. Because you not caring contributes to their death and suffering just as much as the other one does. Crickets feel just as bad as slurs and harassment, and crickets actually feel worse when all you're getting is slurs and harassment. Investing in your communities is the only way you will survive. That shouldn't be your motivation, but like, where's your survival instinct, bro? Also, genuinely, help your homeless neighbors panhandle on the internet. It is safer for them and they are more likely to get their needs met. And if you do that, reach out to me, because I help homeless people panhandle on the internet every day to try to get their needs met. Because temporary shelter is always better than no shelter at all. And if you are so poor that you're on the street, you don't have money coming in for anything a lot of times. I got a single mom with a kid who needs $25 to eat, and we struggle to get it for her because too many people are busy calling other people slurs for asking for help, or scrolling past being like, that doesn't bother me. That's not for me. That's like, she's probably a bad mom, or she's probably lying. You know, you're complicit. You're contributing to their suffering. You're contributing to their death. You're doing eugenics. Invest in your communities. Help people help themselves. I'm going to tag this in a playlist on TikTok, and I will try to on YouTube too. You can't do that on Instagram, called Alt UBI. And Alt UBI is about getting people sustained financially, especially the most vulnerable to capitalism, through things that already exist to sustain influencers, like Patreon and Ko-Fi. Coffee? Kofi. I don't know how it's pronounced, and I don't think anybody else does either. But investing in your community's stability is investing in your own stability, because when we are all better resourced, we can all pour into each other's cups. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What was this video about again? Oh yeah,